this is Chela of Secret Tellers. In today's video, we're going to look at variables. How do we print a statement that is inside the variable? How do we print a value stored in a variable? That's today's lesson. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, give this video a thumbs up and hit that a notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you'll be notified. Okay, so how do we declare a variable? A variable is simply a placeholder. That's the definition for a variable, is a placeholder for a particular value. We do not know this value yet, but we want to have a container. Okay, what are the most important things that this variable is going to have? The variable is made up of two parts. We have got the data type and the variable name. So that's a general syntax. The data type and a variable name. That is the structure. Let me put a comment here. We have the data type and variable name. Data type and variable name. A variable declaration ends with a semicolon. So that's a general syntax for variable declaration. The first thing that you need to write whenever you're declaring a variable is the data type. And don't just come up with any data type. You need to think, what type of value will this variable what type of value is this variable going to have? When you think of that, you're going to know the exactly type of data type that you're going to use. If you're talking about decimal numbers, then you need to use the appropriate data type, which is double. If you're talking about integers, then you need to know the appropriate appropriate data type they are going to use, which is int. If you're talking about the string or the name of a person, then you need to declare an appropriate data type for the name of a person, which is a string. If you're talking about characters, you need to declare an appropriate variable for that. Okay, now there are two parts where you can declare a variable. I'm going to talk about them, that parts later on, and I'll show the differences in a later video. But in this video, I'm just going to talk about variable declaration. And among the two parts, we have global variable and local variable. In today's video, I'm going to talk about local variables, and I'll be declaring these variables locally. What I mean by locally is I'll be declaring these variables inside the int main function. In the later video, I'm going to talk about global variables and see the difference between a local variable and global variable. Okay, so I have the first variable declared here, int age. Okay, so this variable is going to store the age of a person. The data type is int. Why am I using int? Because the age of a person can be 20 years, 40 years, 10 years, 2 years. That is my assumption. I'm not talking about months. I'm just talking about the age, rounding off to an age of a person being 10, being 20, being 30. Okay, that's why I'm using the word int. Then after that, I'm going to assign this variable that I've declared. Int is the data type, age is a variable name. Now I'm going to assign the value to this variable age. Assigning a value is called initializing. So when you initialize a variable, you are assigning a variable to actual value, to its value. So I'm going to assign this value to 34. Okay, so the age is 34. So if I want to print out the age on the console, I'll use the statement cout as usual. Then after cout, then I'm going to write age. I'm not going to type 34 there. I'll type age. Why age? Because age is a variable that is storing 34. And I'm not putting this age in double quotes because I want to see the value which is in this variable age to be on the console and not the word age. Okay, so if I compile this, you see we are going to have 34 printed on the screen. So as usual, we do not know what this 34 is. So for us to know it properly, we can make it user friendly by writing this statement. Double quotes, we type age is, we have that at least we'll know what you're talking about. You're talking about age. Age is, okay, so we have age is 34. At least we know we are talking about age here. Age is 34. Okay, So let me declare another variable that's going to hold the name. So I'm going to declare the variable. That variable, since it's a name, it's a sequence of characters, I'm going to use the data type string. So string name. Okay. Then after name, I'm going to initialize this variable now to the actual value. What name am I going to assign to a string? Now, when you're declaring a string, in a previous video, I talked about how to initialize a variable to a string, how to initialize a value, a variable of a string, as well as how to initialize a variable for a character, a char. So how do we do that? For a string, we use double quotes, and then you write the name of a string inside the double quotes. So what name am I going to use here? Let me use the name Chanda, a Zambian name, member name Chanda. Okay, so after that, I'll put a semicolon. If I compile this program, then I'll have, okay, I haven't used it, so let me use this now. So let's say cout Chanda is, Chanda age is, okay, so I'm going to say this. I'll type Chanda. I'm going to type the name, sorry, because name is holding the variable Chanda, the value Chanda. So I'm going to write name there. Then after that, I'm going to put this. Okay, Chanda's. Okay, I want to have it like that. Chanda's age is, okay. So I'm going to have it like that. So if I compile this program now, I'll have this statement now. Chanda's age is 34 on the screen being printed. Now look here, Chanda is not in double quotes. Why? Because I want the value stored in Chanda, as well as age is not double quotes because I want age to be printed on the screen. Then I also have these words in double quotes because I want these words to appear on the screen. Okay, then another statement that I'm going to write now is the earning. How much can Chanda earn at a month? So meaning I need to declare a variable that's going to store the amount of money that Chanda can earn at a month. Now, the money can be in decimal. Why? Because one can have 20 kwacha 15 way, can have 30 kwacha 14 way, such kind of. The money can be decimal. So a data type that I'm going to choose for that is double. Okay, double money. Okay, money. Okay, we should be very careful whenever we are giving names to a variable. We should ensure that we do not use names that are known by a compiler. Mostly the names that are known by a compiler are either in full color, they are either um, bold like this, or maybe they might also be in the special color showing that they are known by a compiler. Okay, so money, how much money could this person have a month? Okay, that could be, now since it's double, that's why I'm putting this decimal point, 44,563 kwacha. So if that is the amount of money, how do I print out this now on the screen? Then I'll be able to say we have the name called Chanda's age is that he earns. Okay, so I'm going to have a statement here. Cout, I have this double quote saying he earns, how much does he earn? Okay, so this I'll use kwacha. He earns, okay, let me use dollar. He earns money. So here I'll put double quotes and type money. Okay, all right. Then after that I put a semicolon. Now for me to have these two statements, there are two different statements here. I need to put a full stop so that this will start as a separate a new statement or a new sentence, or let me say a different sentence in the same line but a different sentence. I have not put end line here because I want them to be in the same line. So I'm compiling this program. Let's see the output saying Chanda's age is 34, full stop. He earns $4,563. Okay, so that is how you print out a statement on the screen, and this is how you access the value that is stored in a variable. If you have got a question, please write your question in your comment section below, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is Chela of Secret Tutorials.